Today what I want to talk about is aging, and there's actually two peaks of happiness, and that's the topic today, is happiness and it's the aging process. Hi, this is Dr. Philip Young. We're Aesthetic Facial Body Plastic Surgery and the Beauty Docs on YouTube. If you enjoyed watching this, click the like button below. Hey there, this is Dr. Young. I've been doing Snapchat stories, and I wanted to do a little bit more of a production in terms of making these videos a little bit better than Snapchat. But you can join me on Snapchat. It's AFB Plastic Surge, and you can find it on my website if you want to get more up-to-date stories that are related to patients in our lives that we get through plastic surgery. And I think you can learn a lot from it because I learn a ton from my patients. So today what I'm going to talk about is aging. And you know, in my field, aging is a huge part of what I do. You know, we reverse aging and we try to make people look younger. So the topic of aging comes up all the time when I talk with patients, and I love doing it because I learn so much from the people I talk with. But today what I want to talk about is aging, and there's actually two peaks of happiness, and that's the topic today, is happiness and it's the aging process. And I think in the general population, people tend to think that younger people are happier. In fact, even a study that asked older people, even the older people thought that people generally younger are happier. But many other studies now are showing that there's two peaks in happiness, which I thought was fascinating, because I'm among the population that thinks that younger people are generally happier. But apparently the two peaks are 23 and 69. You're the happiest during those ages. Now, obviously, everyone's different, but that's a general kind of look into happiness in terms of age. So they talk about, well, when you're 23, you start identifying more yourself, you know, who you are, and your life starts to get set into a pattern. You just finished college and you get a job, and everything's fresh. You're having fun. You're on your own. It's like you're experiencing your new adult life. And then it starts dipping down. People start getting more stressed out in terms of having family, being able to support kids, and those middle ages tend to be more stressful. And they found the dip to be 46, which is actually my age, which is sort of a reality checker, you know. And they looked at different factors. They looked at money. They looked at having children, your employment, and whether those factors are related to the dip and whether it turns around based on that. And they found that those factors didn't actually matter. And this is based on an Economist article, and there's a lot of fascinating articles in Economist. I learned that from my brother. But what they found was that what were the internal factors that they thought were related to an upswing from 46 to 69. And they found that it was a way that people thought. Apparently during that age 46, you start accepting who you are and your circumstance, and you get stressed less about where you're going with life. You start accepting it. And also there is a decrease in ambition, which is not necessarily the best, but it does allow you to become more happy. And apparently people that are happier, like in 69, are able to enjoy the happiness out of simple things in life. Whereas when you're young, it's about getting married, you know, finding that someone special, getting a great job, starting to be more successful in your business, and maybe some more external things that occur when you're younger. But as you get older, they start appreciating just sunlight, you know, the trees, having a nice meal, having a nice cup of coffee, being able to take a walk and smelling the nice breeze and the air, and some of the simple things in life, and they're able to develop more intrinsic happiness instead of extrinsic happiness. And that's part of the upswing when you get to 69. They also found that in terms of happiness and how it changes through your ages, that neurotics tend to have a harder time with happiness. They're more fraught with guilt, anxiety, and anger, and they tend to more hole up in their office and at their home. And so try to realize that, whether you're being neurotic about your guilt, anger, or anxiety, and see if you can reach out to people. Don't live on an island. They say that people that are extroverts tend to do better. They tend to work better with people. They have more emotional intelligence and having support around them. And so they find extroverts do better than neurotic introverts, which is another part of the happiness and aging portion I wanted to bring up. So the reason why I brought up aging is I want people to know that, things get better. I want people to understand that, if you know about these two different peaks, you can first know that aging isn't the worst thing in the world. It does go by fast, but living in the now is really important. And I think about that one interview with Deepak Chopra where he was being interviewed by Oprah or some person, and he talked about his watch. He pulled it up to the camera and said, and had the camera shine into that watch, and what it showed was that his watch on his wrist was filled with sand. There was no clocks, no numbers, no hands of the clock. And what he said, it reminded him that the time is now. And that reminds me of that old saying, yesterday's the past, tomorrow's the future, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Anyways, I wanted you to know that there's two peaks in life, and I wanted you to know that a lot of happiness is not necessarily related to external factors, and that you actually can cultivate happiness. And I brought it in another Snapchat story about cultivating happiness in that book, Happiness by Mathieu Ricard. It's a book that's fascinating. It brought tears to my eyes again, and my goal is to try to read that every year to remind me some of the important points of happiness. And it's definitely not external factors like money. It reminds me of that one documentary by that famous director who directed Liar Liar, who said after directing all these famous movies and making all sorts of money, there's a point where he's at the top of his stairs looking down at his new hallway and entry to his immense house, and he said he realized at that point that he wasn't any happier. It wasn't these external factors like houses, cars that made him happy. So he went on this whole documentary to figure out what happiness was. And it's definitely not extrinsic factors. It's something that comes from within, and I think it goes back to that other video that I talked about in terms of extrinsic and intrinsic things, and also self-help books, that I think part of that is really identifying your emotions. I think that's the key to happiness as well. So anyways, I really appreciate you watching this. Let me know what you think in the comment sections, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks. We would love to have you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're the Beauty Docs. We're going to be coming up with insightful videos showing you a glimpse into our lives in plastic surgery. Specifically, we're going to show you the human side of what we do. Through that, we hope to enrich your life as these experiences have enriched ours. Click the following annotations to subscribe and be the first to see these unique videos on our YouTube channel. To learn about our theory on beauty that helps us get you the best results, to see a new video showing you the relationship between holidays and heart attacks, or to see a story about plastic surgery and hope in our patient with an autoimmune disease who then developed cancer during our treatment. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.